Howdy folks, I wanted to show you my latest product for the Leatherman Free P4. This is a series of products I've been doing. The first one is a holster. This is already available along with the thumb tabs. Both of those are available on my store on Shapeways. You can see my other video on those. So one of the complaints that several people, including me, have had about the Leatherman Free series is the lack of interchangeable bits. Everybody likes them on the kind of the Wave and the Surge, where you got these bits. Now, except for these bits are completely proprietary to Leatherman products, and there's a limited set of them. So one person has suggested switching over to the 4mm bits. These 4mm bits are readily available in all sizes, specialty bits, security bits, and then there's adapters if you want to run something bigger. So what I've designed here is a special 4mm bit driver that'll replace the Phillips and pry bar that come on the Leatherman Free P4. So I already have my prototype installed, which was made out of plastic. And then this is made out of laser sintered steel. It's actually bronze and steel combination that is basically welded together by laser. Extremely strong, and then it's available in 5 different finishes. I chose the gold simply because it shows up the best and is the shiniest. So this is the actual 3D printed part, as far as I haven't done any filing or any other changes to it. Because it's sintered, it actually can shrink a little bit, so in the design I compensated for that, and you can see it's actually got a very good fit. Better than the actual precision tool from iFixit here. Also featured is a side driver and a 1/4" driver that's also a bottle opener. So you can stick a 1/4" bit in here. See if I can do this without looking through the camera. It's actually a very tight fit on those. There we go. So that's actually really tight. And then this features also a bottle opener. It actually matches the Leatherman bruiser. And then the rest of the features here work out to open it and close it. Oh, and then there's also a 4mm bit driver on the tail that works even if you have the tool closed. So I haven't actually even installed this on my own tool yet. So we're going to go ahead and show you kind of how to do that. So the Leatherman Free series is actually held together by Chicago screws, which actually makes it easier to modify, but they do have a certain amount of torque on them, and they also come with thread locker. I've taken mine apart a couple of times, so my thread locker is basically broken. If your thread locker is tight, you may need to heat these with a heat gun. You can also kind of put a lighter to them, but that'll leave a char, and that'll break the heat seal. So what I'm going to do is actually use a little bit driver here, and we're going to take this apart. So you line a T9 Torx bit on each side. So you will need 2 bits. And it can be a little tricky here. I'm going to clear myself some working space. And one side has a long post, and the other side is a screw. I'm going to move that. And I'll also do a full kind of technical guide on how to do this, and that'll be linked from my store on Shapeways for the people who like the text instructions. The only problem with this is the actual tool kind of flying around. Most people who do this regularly can get jigs and things to make sure and hold the tool. Let's try doing this. Let's line that up. Do that, and let's do it from the top so it's not slipping in two different directions. There we go. So let's see if I even have any thread locker left on my screws. Don't think so. And then you can kind of push the screw out, and you want to kind of hold the body together as much as possible. The magnets that are inside the P4 can pull. There's two small washers on each side, right in here and right in here, and those might get pulled down to the magnet. You shouldn't have to take apart the other side, but you can. It can actually make it a little easier on you. But for now, we'll simply open this, hold our finger in there. What you'll actually be doing is pulling these two bits out, not my little 3D printed prototype here. Put that away. So you can pull each of these two bits out. It might be easier if you deploy them first. Keep your finger in there. Take this, put that in there, and then slip in the shaft. And I actually haven't double checked to make sure that this works well. Looks like it's a little tight. Yep, that's a little tight. So because this is a sintered product, sometimes might need to ream these out. It's actually really easy to do. So for now, I will throw these two guys back in there and leave that alone. So I'll show you how to ream this out. So what you need is a 1/4 inch drill bit, or 1/8 inch drill bit. And a drill. You can also do this by hand if you need. And all you got to do is kind of clean out the bit. Won't take much. All right, now that should be clear. Yep, perfectly clear. And we can actually do the same thing to make sure that the tail here is clear where the magnets are going to go. So I kind of forgot about that. You can see here, you can basically do it by hand. Oh, I guess I should mention the magnets before I get too far because those are used. So two 1/8 inch by 1/4 inch or 3mm by 6mm magnets. And then if you want, you can kind of try to figure out which way they might need to go in by seeing how they interact with the magnet inside the Leatherman. You want it so it has more traction to that side. So let's try this side. So that side's got definitely more traction. So that's the side we will put this way. Let me put these back in as spacers. Okay. So the magnets go in a little hole right here. And they should just press fit in. Might need to use the end of the drill bit to push them in. And might end up needing to hammer them in. Should have been cleared. I cleared it with the drill bit. Looks like they're going to be a little stubborn. So if they're stubborn, resort to a hammer. I'm actually going to use a Chicago screw because it's also 1/8 of an inch. And might only end up with one magnet on this build. That's what I get for kind of doing everything in the video instead of doing it ahead of time, but all right, that'll work. The magnets are inside. They're clear of this, and they should be doing their job to hold a bit, and they are. All right. So now we'll proceed to install this. So install that, and then you want to pass the Chicago screw all the way through. Come on. Sometimes it takes a little wiggling. Now, hopefully those washers didn't move on me. What happens is that little spring sometimes moves. There we go. So let's clear that. Pull it back. Oops, sorry, I'm not in frame. To just there. that in. Get that lined up. There we go. Through the other spring. And here's where you can see the washer's moved on us a little bit. So grab yourself a small bit of some sort. Kind of reach in, straighten that out. There we go. You can also kind of take the T9 bit and hold against the Chicago screw. So let's try to get that all pushed back together. Something's jammed up. Maybe the scissors. There we go. The scissors were jammed up. The screw wanted to move again. Once it's to this point where you can see the thread, go ahead and drive the original screw in a little bit. That'll help the washer from moving away from you. Let me clear my workspace. And let's see, is that washer clear? I think that washer's clear. Okay, so the other thing that's happened is this little piece has popped out. Easy enough to snap back in. All right, now I think we're good to go. And we can start tightening this up. Ideally, the Chicago screw gets all the way flat before you're done. But again, a little fiddly, but once you're done, it'll be worth it. All right, let's try this again where we're going to hold that. And I got no free hand to hold the base. Come on. All right, and what you want to do is, oh, I did that too tight. You do have to get just the right torque. And by the way, any warranty concerns with this modification are entirely up to you. If you want to send your tool back in, I don't think they'll fix it with this installed. All right, so those are still good. Scissors are still good. And then let's test the bit driver. So it retracts in, pops out, and locks. So now you can have any 4mm bit you want on the end of your Leatherman Free P4 and retain the can opener, have the horizontal driver. So if you need more torque on that particular screw that you're doing, that's available. The 1/4 inch driver, which also can impart quite a bit of torque. And then while closed, you have the 4mm driver on the outside that you can use. And then of course the magnets work to hold the bit, and you can store whichever your favorite bit inside. Eventually I'm going to work on having a 4mm bit holder that will work along with my holster. Probably either store them along the back, or I'll actually make a separate holster design. And then if you get the gold, you know, you got your own distinctive look. This is your own modified Leatherman Free P4. So I look forward to seeing some people get out there and use this. And tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.